Hey there, welcome to the video. Now, if you've been exploring ways to make money online, then you've probably come across Amazon KDP. And let me tell you, this is one of the most simplest yet most powerful opportunities out there. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. And right now we're talking about low and medium content publishing on Amazon KDP. So if this sounds interesting to you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, the amazing thing is more and more people are starting to realize just how profitable and accessible this business model is. Imagine creating a book once, uploading it, and then having Amazon handle the printing, handle the shipping, and handle the customer service while you sit back and earn royalties. However, many beginners face a common challenge, and that is figuring out what to sell. With so many options out there, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and unsure of which direction to take. You might be wondering, what type of book should I create? Is there even a market for this? What if I spend time making something that doesn't even sell? Now, these are all valid concerns, and they can make it tough to take that first step. The truth is, finding that right niche, the sweet spot between the high demand and the low competition, can be one of the most challenging parts of starting a KDP business. After all, no one wants to spend time creating a book that just sits there unnoticed and unsold. But you're in luck, because today I've actually done all the research for you. I'm going to take all that guesswork out of the equation, and I'm going to show you exactly where to start. I've identified 5 top KDP niches that are perfect for beginners. These niches all have low competition, which means you won't be competing against thousands of other books, and they have high demand, meaning there's going to be plenty of people actively searching for and buying these types of books. Now, this combination of low competition and high demand is the key to maximizing your chances of success. And the best part is that you can start selling in these niches right away. Now, the first niche we have today is the addition and subtraction workbook. Now, I actually did a full video on this in a previous video. So if you want to watch that, I'll leave a card somewhere around the screen. So if you want to get into this niche, you can watch that video after this, and it'll help you create a book and be able to get uploaded onto KDP and start earning royalties. Now we can see the total results is 1,998, which is not so bad when it comes to competition. The average BSR, we're seeing 153,000, which means that on average, the books on the first page are actually selling pretty decently well. And the reviews of 1,900, which means there's a lot of reviews for these types of books, which means that people are generally happy with this type of book. And then the average price is your typical price that I like to see, $7.29, around $7 to $8, which is really good. Now we can see the extension that I use called Titan's Quick View gives us a niche score of 60. So that's a good score, because I like to look for scores that are at least 50 and higher. And if we go through the first page here, we're going to see a lot of books here that are selling very well. And really, I only like to look at independently published books. So as you can see, this is not one of them, that's not one of them, and this is not one of them. But this book right here, it does say independently published right there, and it's selling very well at 28,000. We have another book right here selling very well, ranking it at 37,000. You can see 22 reviews, 4.9 out of 5. We have this book right here, ranking it at 96,000. Once again, very good reviews, 4.5 out of 5. This book right here, ranking it at 75,000. Once again, very good reviews, 4.7 out of 5. So we see a lot of books here selling very, very well. This one right here, 14,000 BSR. And some more books here like this one, 11,000 BSR. This one's at 35,000 BSR. So this niche is going to be a very good niche for you to get into, and it's going to be very lucrative. Let's take a look at this book right here. This is the Math Workbook Grade 2 Addition Subtraction. It has a BSR of 11,508 and a 4.7 out of 5 rating, over 1,500 rating. So this book sells very well. It's priced at $8.95, which I like. which means that the royalties on this book is very good. And it has 105 pages at your 8.5 by 11 inch standard size. Here's the sample. So let's take a look at one of the interiors. So here's the warm up. Here's another page of the interior and even a certificate at the very end of the book and some more photos here from the reviews. So if we take a glance, we can see these photos of what it actually looks like when you get it in the mail. And we can see this book makes about 22 sales per day, which is about 660 books per month. Add that royalty calculator in here, and that's about $70 a day and over $2,000 per month from this one book alone right here. The next niche we have is the multiplication timed tests workbook. This would be a sub niche, I would say, of the previous niche, but this is going to be a completely different book. We can see right away 293 results, so not a lot of competition, and a niche score of 67, well above that 50 that I always look for. And we can see the average BSRs are actually pretty decent at 339,000. And then the average reviews are nearing 1,000, with the average price being $7.70. And we can see right here where it says independently published that there are already 9 KDP books here on the first page, which means all we have to do is look through the first page to see their BSRs. And so if we go ahead and look through here, so this is not one of them. Let's move on to this one. So here's one that's doing really well. Has a 42,000 BSR with a 4.7 out of 5 rating overall. This book is ranking it at 77,000 with a 4.7 out of 5 rating. This one has a 50,000 BSR. Also has very good reviews at 4.5 out of 5. This one 121,000 BSR with a 4.9 out of 5 star rating. This one is at 38,000 with a 4.8 rating overall. So we can see a lot of books here doing very well. Pretty much all of these books that I'm looking at all have a BSR below 300,000, which is really what I like to look for when it comes to how profitable a niche is gonna be. So this is gonna be a very good niche to get into. Now let's take a look at this book, the Multiplication and Division Workbook for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades. So we see a book rank of 38,817, has a very high score at 4.8 out of 5 stars overall, and is priced at $8.50. If we take a look at the sample, here are some pages of the interior. So here's one of them right here. And then here's another page. And then some more pages on the back cover. We can see this book with a 38,000 BSR makes about 8 sales per day, which is about 240 books per month. Add that royalty calculator in here. That's about $23 per day, or about $707 per month, which is actually still very good considering $700 is coming from just one single book. And you could repeat this process over and over and over again. The next niche we have is the Logic Workbook for Kids. Right away, we see 701 results, so not a lot of competition here. We have independently published books. There's 17 KDP books here on the first page with the average BSR of about 456,000. We're going to go through some of these books here in a second. The average reviews are actually pretty high at 1,600 reviews, and the average price is a little bit higher as well at around $8.60. We see a niche score of 63, well above that 50 that I always look for. So everything is pointing that there's going to be potential for profits here. This Logic Grid puzzles and other games ranking in at 42,000 with a 4.3 out of 5. This one right here is ranked at 89,000 with a 4.7 out of 5. This one right here is at 31,000 with a 4.5 out of 5 rating. This one has a 98,000 BSR with a 4.6 out of 5 rating. And then this one is at 280,000 with a 4.8 out of 5 rating. So there's a lot of demand still for this niche. And with a low competition score of 701, you're going to have a much better chance at getting your book ranked on the first page of Amazon, especially with the search results being so low as it is. Let's take a look at this book. This Logic Grid Puzzles and Other Games has a book ranking of 42,287, has a 4.3 out of 5 rating. And when I see something that's like 4.5 and below, I start to look at the reviews here. I see a lot of 3 stars. And if we take a look at this, what I like to do is take a look at the review and take it into consideration if I actually am going to go and create a book for this niche. So this one says, purchase for my 14-year-old daughter who's behind in reading comprehension. She could only do it with my help. We wound up printing off some easier logic puzzles from the internet, and she's able to do those. I wish they had started with much easier puzzles and worked up to the hard ones. This seems like it's for ages 12 to 18, not 8 to 12. So this is something that I would take into consideration if I was creating a book in this niche. Now, the thing I like about this book in particular is that the price is very high at $14.97. So the royalty per book for this specific book is actually quite high. And it only has 80 pages, which means that the printing cost is relatively low. Now, I said the printing cost is relatively low, but that would assume that this was a black and white book, but this is a colored interior, which makes more sense of why it is at $14.97. But anyways, here's some of the interiors for you so you can see what it looks like. This is going to take a little bit more time to create, but it's still worthwhile, especially because these books are up and running and they're going to be selling 24/7 without much help on your end. So with that BSR of 42,000, this book makes about 7 sales per day, which is about 210 books per month. And if we add that royalty calculator in here with the standard color, that's about $36 a day, but still that's well over $1,000 per month off of a single book. The next niche we have is the Riddles for Smart Kids niche. Right away, we see a niche score pretty high up there at 78, well above the 50 that I always look for, and only 359 results. So this is a very low competition niche, but with the average bestseller rank at 133,000, this tells me that these books are selling very well. And the average reviews are over 2,700 reviews. And so there's a lot of people buying these books. There's a lot of people putting reviews on this book, and the average price of $9.13. There's a good margin for royalties in this niche. And we can see there's already 9 independently published authors in this niche. And so we can see that they're probably selling very well. So let's go ahead and look through the first page here to check them out. We have one right here ranking it at 250 and has a 4.6 out of 5 rating. This one right here has a ranking of 316 with a 4.6 out of 5 rating. This one's ranked at 4,776 with a 4.6 rating out of 5. This one has a 231,000 BSR, 77,000 BSR, 21,000 BSR, 156,000 BSR. So there's a lot of books here that are doing really, really well. And so I know that there's a lot of potential for this niche. Let's take a look at this book, The Difficult Riddles for Smart Kids. We can see it has a #1 bestsellers badge. This one is ranked at 250 with a $7.99 price tag. If we take a look at the sample, we can see a little bit of the interior. So here's difficult riddles right here. So you can see that it's just basically text and a bunch of riddles right here. And we can see this book makes about 371 sales per day, which is about over 11,000 books per month. Add that royalty calculator. That's $980 a day, almost $1,000 a day, almost $30,000 per month from this book right here. Can you imagine making that kind of money? Now, the last niche we have is the My First Coloring Book for 1-year-old niche. Right away, 381 results. Very, very low competition here with a niche score of 54. That's above the 50 that I always look for. And we can see the average BSR is very decent at 289,000. Average reviews are very good at over 1,000. Average price, $7.03. And there's a ton of independently published authors in this niche, which is also a good sign because it means that they are doing well. Also, we have this book right here, ranked at 229 with a 4.8 out of 5 rating. we can see that it's number 1 in children's painting books, number 2 in children's colors books, and number 4 in children's coloring books. The one right next to it is ranked at 50,000 with a 4.8 out of 5 rating. This one right here, 5,279 BSR with a 4.8 out of 5 rating. So you can tell these books are doing very well, high ratings. And so if we look into these books, we're going to see exactly why. We have this book right here, 76,000 BSR. And notice the cover is not anything that stands out a lot. If we just take a look at this book real quick, we could see what type of book it is. And it's right here. It's basically nothing inside of it. It's basically just blank pages. And so that's good to know. Going back on the first page of Amazon here, let's look at some more books. This one's at 15,000. This one's at 7,000. This one's at 108,000. This one's 26,000, 272,000. There's just a lot of books here that are doing very, very well. And 381 for the competition score. Very low indeed. Let's take a look at this book. The Creative Toddler's First Coloring Book, ages 1 to 3. The number 1 bestsellers badge, that's incredible. 4.8 out of 5 ratings overall with a book rank of 229. The price is a little bit lower at $5.99, but that's okay because this book is selling very, very well. If we look at the sample, here's one of the pages. So here's one of the interiors. It's a simple image of a house to color in, and then the word house, and here's a dog or a puppy, a balloon, and so on and so forth. Very, very simple type of book. And we can see this book specifically makes 392 sales per day, which is over 11,000 books per month. Add that royalty calculator in here. $330 per day, almost $10,000 per month off of this book right here. And honestly, anyone could make this type of book. Now, if you want more KDP resources, go ahead and check the links down below. Also, if you have any questions, let me know down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, as well as follow me on all my socials at JeffSetLife. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.